Hi, everyone. Welcome to our weekly devotion. I want to bring to your attention this week Paul's writings from First Corinthians chapter 1, verses 26 through 28. So if you've got a Bible, you want to turn there, that's good. Otherwise, you can just listen. It's a short text, but it will be helpful. And we know it very well. First Corinthians 1, 26 through 28. Here's what Paul writes. Brothers and sisters, consider your calling. He's challenging the believers to reflect and consider how they've been called by God into salvation. What's the purpose of that calling? Why are we called to live for God? Then he continues, not many were wise from a human perspective. Speaking of those who are redeemed, not many were wise from a human perspective, not many powerful, not many of noble birth. Instead, God has chosen what is foolish in the world to shame the wise, and God has chosen what is weak in the world to shame the strong. God has chosen what is insignificant and despised in the world, what is viewed as nothing, to bring to nothing what is viewed as something. His point is that you and I, as God's chosen, will be used of God to bring glory and honor to his holy and precious name. That's a real good thing. But here's how he's going to do it. You see, within our flesh, not many of us who follow Jesus, who've been called in that sense, are people of might and strength. We're not those people. We haven't got great physical strength or might in our beings, or even together we haven't got that. Nor are we people generally, we're not people of noble birth or of a noble heritage. Most of us can't look back and say, that's my lineage. It can be traced right back to this great monarchy or whatever. Nor do lots of us have what this world would refer to as being great amounts of wisdom that they want to listen to, and they're just hanging on every word that we say that's going to transform and make the world a bigger and better place. So Paul tells us then in verse 27, he wants to make it clear that God has decided to choose the foolish things of the world to represent him. He has chosen you to represent him to his world. He has chosen me to represent himself to his world. So collectively, that's what the church is called to do. And therefore, he's using the weak things. We're a bunch of weak people. He's using the base things. We're nothing in that sense. Things that have been despised by the world. The world doesn't want to listen to us. The world doesn't want to take note of us. He even says things which are not. That's what he's going to use. So there might be things that are not even human in that sense, and he'll use them to bring honor and glory to his name. But his point is really that none of the glory belongs to us in any way. It's God who's doing this through us. It's God who's ministering through these weak, inappropriate vessels that struggle in life, but we're going to be used by him to bring glory and honor to his precious and holy name. I recently took a trip to the tip with my son. He had collected and accumulated a lot of stuff at home he wanted to get rid of. He said, this is no longer any use to us, so I'm putting it into the tip and getting rid of it. And so we went to the tip, and then you go through the process of discovering where you got to put your different things. And as we threw all of his rejected belongings, rejected materials into the dumpster, I had a quick look around to see what other people were getting rid of, what they were dumping, what they deemed as no longer necessary for their lives either. People were getting rid of all of their stuff that they had decided, this is no longer helpful to me. This is taking up space. I don't need this. I don't want this. Whatever reason, they were getting rid of it. Things like fridges and computers and televisions and microwaves and tables and chairs and carpets and bicycles and kids' toys and garden tools and lawnmowers. And the list just goes on and on and on as to what people were getting rid of. They said, I've got a new one. I don't want this old one. I no longer need this. See, to them, it was no longer wise to keep all of this stuff. This stuff had no longer any purposeful use to them or for them. And so I began to think to myself, this is kind of like us. The world, the flesh, and the devil, they've thrown us collectively, they've thrown us onto the rubbish tip of life. As they say, we have no further use for you. You're no longer any helpful to us in our way of life. But God always had this plan by which he would use us, a plan by which he would be honored and glorified. And so he wants to put his plan into place. And his plan was to use all of us rejects to put to shame the things which are wise, the things which are mighty in this world. That's what he wanted to do. And by us living and speaking his truth, we begin to call this world to their need of Jesus Christ to be their Savior. Now, we don't look wise, we don't look strong, we don't look suited to that, but that's what we're called to do. We're to present His truth to His world by how we live and what we say. And so we're calling them. You're living on the wrong side of things. We're calling you to live for Jesus, to come and find Jesus and accept Him, walk with Him, follow Him. See, only through Jesus can anyone have their sin forgiven. Only through Jesus can anyone ever move into this right relationship with God the Father. There's no other way except through Jesus Christ. Only through Jesus can anyone ever be made fit and ready for heaven. So it's a wonderful privilege for you and I to have been taken by God from the rubbish tip of life, the rejects of this society, the things that this society said we no longer have any need for, but God took us and He wants to use us to bring honor and glory to His name. So as you go about life today, I want to encourage you, your life, your statements, your commentary that you speak for God, the things, how you live for God, all of that says that you belong to Him, and it makes an important testimony to who He is, an important statement to this world of their need of Jesus Christ in their life. I trust that you'll have a great day as you mingle amongst the real rubbish of life, those people who need Jesus, and you touch them and you help them and you call them and you bring them to Jesus for salvation. Try doing it today. It'll be a wonderful day if someone comes to Christ. Be blessed, keep pressing on, and remember, He has chosen to use you and to use me, the rejects of society, for His glory as we go about our everyday lives. Be blessed. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.